So 2 days ago, on the 5th of November, the good people of the USA went and voted for the next president. And I was blindsided by the speed of the result because all of the polls were saying it was going to be so close it would take until Thursday or maybe even Friday before we'd know the result. Yet, before I'd had my first break at work, I was listening to President-elect Trump give his victory speech in that very individual way that Donald Trump talks. And this is an observation, not a criticism, but he seems to ramble a lot. He'll never use one word when 50 will do. I imagine that if he was asked, what's your favourite colour? He would reply, I'm not going to try and do the voice, he'd reply something like, oh, there are so many colours, so many great colours, we've got so many great colours, I'm proud of all the colours we've got here in this great country. We've got red, blue and green, and we've got yellow, and I like yellow, but there are some colours I like more than yellow, and you could go away, make a cup of tea, come back, and he'd still be on the same question. That being said, he's a better orator than what we've got in Parliament here, Liar Stalin, a man who speaks with all the depth and emotion of an Amazon Alexa. Actually, no, an Alexa makes him seem more human. Anyway, earlier this year, there was a general election here in the UK. Labour won, and you may have gathered I'm not overly happy with the result, but then virtually no one is. Only 20% of the electorate voted for the winning party, and of that 20%, apparently now half of them are regretting it, so 1 in 10 people are happy with the government. That being said, when it was announced that Keir Starmer was going to be the Prime Minister, I didn't have an absolute fucking meltdown. I accepted that's democracy, that's how it works. In particular, I didn't have an absolute meltdown and post the footage on TikTok. And that's what we'll be seeing today. We'll be seeing the woke extreme left reaction to Trump being elected as the 47th president of the USA. But the strange thing was, as soon as I got onto TikTok on my first break, because I thought this is going to be spectacular, all I was seeing was Brits. There weren't any Americans reacting. I quickly realised why I was only seeing British people having a meltdown on TikTok. It's the time difference. At that time in the morning in the UK is very early in the morning in the USA. And of course, the woke far lefties over in the States, they won't be up because none of them have got jobs. So here's a montage of the Brits getting upset. And because it's TikTok, none of them are speaking, so they've dubbed music on it, so that's why it's silent, so I don't get hit for copyright. But we'll touch on a few points. There's one chap who says he's worried that Trump being elected will cause a domino effect. Mate, where have you been fucking living? Most of Europe has already gone to the right. The entire developed world is going to the right, except for here in the UK, because going to the right would have meant re-electing the Conservatives, so we've gone to the left with Labour, and in my opinion, it's a fucking disaster. There's another chap who says he's worried because his fiancée is in Alabama. Mate, what are you worried about if she's in Ala-fucking-Bama? Do you think that Trump being elected is going to make that area suddenly become more redneck? Now, I've not been to Alabama, but I've got friends who play in a band who have played there. And as with all Americans, they are extremely courteous. Americans are sickeningly polite. But they said driving through Alabama, every billboard is either Jesus or guns. I expect that chap's fiancée is just over there to get fucked by a real man. But as the day went on, Americans started posting to TikTok, and we're going to see some of the most delusional people I've ever seen. People who think that Trump being elected could effectively end their lives. Let's kick off gently.
I will make it my life's mission, my dying wish, that none of you weirdos can hide. In the future, you can't lie to your kids, you can't lie to your grandkids about, oh, it was so confusing, it was hard to see the truth, he was so convincing. I will not let you get away with that. Like, that was not normal. This is not normal. I will make it clear to everyone. Like, I will make sure no one is confused about how things were right now in this very vital, crucial time in American history, that it was not confusing. It was not confusing at all. You just stood for that. You stood with that and for that. Like, I can't emphasize enough, there will be nowhere to hide, and history is going to look back on this and look back on you in a very negative light.
Some random TikToker is going to hold over half of the American electorate to account. She will mete out her wrath like the Almighty. She is truth. She is justice. She seems to be slightly self-important. Love, I think you've got a bit of a messiah complex, and she's the most normal one we're going to see. Let's move it up a gear.
It's just so awesome. how much this country hates women. So awesome. It's really awesome. Like, how awesome would it be to live in a country that, like, doesn't hate women? That'd be so cool, right?
I want to feel sorry for her. I want to, but I don't. I'm not entirely sure what she's upset about. This hatred of women, is it the allegations against President-elect Trump from his past? Or maybe she's worried about abortion rights being tightened up, in which case use a condom, love? Or is it because Kamala Harris wasn't elected? Is that why America hates women? And if that's what she's worried about, I don't think that Harris wasn't elected because she's a woman. I think it's because she wasn't the right candidate. She's more of the same. She only got put into the election race when it turned out that Joe Biden is fucking balmy. And I said about if Trump was asked what his favourite colour is, he'd just ramble on. With Harris, she'd somehow say she was a prosecutor and then just cackle insanely. Anyway, I think now we're warmed up, we'll start seeing people who are a bit more unhinged. And this next person typifies the woke left because she has an unsightly septum piercing.
I hate to be the person that gets on here and cries, but this could break me and my parents apart because they just don't understand what they voted for and like what it means and the bigotry and hatred that they stand behind and how I am trying to be a good person. I'm not Catholic like they are, which is ironic because religion's supposed to make you love. But I could see it breaking me and my parents apart because they just don't get it and they don't get that they voted for someone who's gonna make my friends' lives hell. My life's okay, I'm a white woman, but my friends are not gonna be okay.
Her parents voting for Trump is possibly ending their relationship. If you are so fickle that your parents having a different political opinion means you no longer want to associate with them, that's on you, love. That is all on you. Because not everyone who votes for Trump is some mad far-right racist. Most people will be voting on what's better for them. I think the two big issues in the US election were the economy and illegal immigration. And people know that it was much cheaper under Trump. And as far as illegal immigration goes, sadly, and we're seeing it in this country, if you import the third world, you become the third world. Then she talks about Catholic values while stating she's not a Catholic herself. So she wants other people to have values and standards that she isn't willing to apply to herself. And the idea that Christianity is all about peace and love, that is a very new idea. Love, you need to read the Old Testament. Next up, we'll see something similar. We'll see a young woman having a conversation on her mobile phone with her boyfriend. She is a Kamala voter and he has voted for Trump. What could possibly go wrong?
Stupid fucking whore! So I'll just shut the fuck up! I'll just shut the fuck up for good now, huh? Yeah, you fucking want that? Yeah? We are fucking over, you fucking dumbass! I hope that you choke on a piece of concrete and literally go to hell. I will see you in fucking hell, you fucking asshole, you fucking liar, you fucking manipulator, you goddamn wish you would have played your cards right with me, you fucking asshole!
Yeah. Obviously, I don't know who her now ex-boyfriend is, but that young man has dodged a fucking bullet. If that's her reaction to him voting for a different candidate, that to me doesn't sound like a future of matrimonial harmony. And I have to say, as a married man myself, until I got married, I didn't know there was a wrong way to put the milk in the fridge. Her reaction was rather over the top. I'd call it an overreaction. But with that in mind, we're about to see someone with more of an overreaction. We are into full-on Trump derangement syndrome. No normal person would react like that, and even the words on the screen, she doesn't say that Trump won, she says that Kamala lost. Personally, I think anyone who reacts like that shouldn't even be allowed to vote. That being said, I'm not advocating any form of dictatorship. Unless I'm running it. Let's move on. The thing that really strikes me with all the people we're seeing is they think their behaviour is justified and possibly even normal. Now, that woman we've just seen is so upset she can't even bring herself to speak, so she's had to put the text up on the screen. But in doing so, in being so fucking self-righteous, she's made a couple of basic grammatical errors. The word racist, she's put an accent over the A, and in bitches she's put an umlaut over the I. Now, I'm not sure what language that is that combines the two. Is she trying to Europeanise it? Is she trying to say, racist bitches?
Is anyone else having a meltdown? I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to wait. I'm so stressed. How you can't look out into the world, into the people of this country and see what's happening. And how hard we're all fighting for rights not to be taken away from people. I go from hysterically crying 1 minute over the pain of this situation and then hysterically crying the next minute, watching so many people come together and women from around the world supporting us and cheering us on. I am 48 years old and I have never experienced anything like this and never thought I would in this country. It's like I can feel the pain and the fear from every single person. I don't know how to handle this. I don't know how to get through the next couple days. Who knows how long this is going to take. Is anyone else having a meltdown?
I will say, at least she's being honest about having a meltdown. But I don't really get it, because this is Trump's second term. He has been in before. And what absolute calamities happened last time he was in? I don't recall hordes of jackbooted stormtroopers marching down the street, smashing up Jewish businesses. In fact, that happens now in 2024, but it's fucking pro-Palestine protesters doing it. She's never experienced anything like this before. Yes, you have, love. It's his second term. You must remember it. Or has she had a really good blow on the head, which would explain a lot? Also, she is 48 years old. First of all, start to dress like it, love. And secondly, if you're 48, maybe it's time to bloody grow up.
Yo, I'm scared to go to sleep. I might wake up a motherfucking slave. Y'all, like, why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why? Why are y'all Trump supporters? Like, why is this a thing right now? Why is this okay? I can't do this no more. I should have kept my vote to myself because I knew it didn't fucking matter. I knew it didn't.
For me, that clip shows just how delusional the woke left are. Because that woman is worried that even though Trump doesn't become president until next fucking year, she's worried that overnight he's going to reintroduce slavery. I think that would be quite a complex thing to do. Also, given the riots in 2020 after the death of George Floyd, I don't think any president would think, yes, let's bring back racial segregation and enslave everyone of a certain race. Maybe she was just watching Gone with the Wind and thought it was a live political broadcast. Not only that, but Trump is a Republican, and I'm no expert on American history, but I think it was the Republicans that ended the slave trade. Thus far, though, apart from the Brits at the start who are all muted, we've just seen women. Let's end this video with 2 clips of men.
You voted against me. You voted against my right to live. You voted against all the women and their rights. I hope you enjoy your cheap fucking gas.
I said men, but that's actually a trans man, so that's someone born female who's had her tits cut off and has smashed herself full of testosterone to grow a beard nowhere near as bushy as mine. And Again, what's Trump actually going to do other than maybe introduce laws making it harder to mutilate children? Because it's the last couple of years under the Biden administration we've been hearing all about the transgenocide. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, one clip left. Strap yourselves in for this one.
What the fuck? Bitch! You fuck! What the hell? Oh! 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 Whoa!
Well, you can't argue with that. That was a clear, eloquent, and very emotional argument. All I can say is that for the next 4 years, these videos that I post are going to fucking write themselves. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as ever, thanks for watching. Just before I go, the reason I'm wearing this hat is I need to shave my head because I look homeless. I'm not trying to do a bad impression of the Edge from U2. On Tuesday, the 5th of November, the people of the US went to the polls, or those who hadn't already voted by post, and fucking shut up, Dan. In this country earlier in the year, there was a general election, and you may have gathered I'm not overly happy with the result, although it was tempered for me because at the time I was at Lake Garda in Italy. And, I've just went back there in my head. Obviously, I don't know who that young lady's now ex-boyfriend is, but he has dodged a fucking bullet. I'm guessing he was only with her because she's good in bed. Because the crazies always are. In fact, here's some advice for any young men watching, young straight men. If you go back to a young lady's house, or older lady, whatever you're into, and if you go to the bathroom and on the mirror she's written in blood, "God, why haven't you fixed me yet?" You're going to have the best shag of your life. Never contact her again. She's so upset that she can't even talk, so she's had to write her words out on the screen. Just advice for anyone watching, if you're in such a state that you can't talk, it's probably not the best time to post videos of yourself on the fucking internet. Calm down first. Coming from me. And at least she's being honest about having a... Fuck it. In her defence, at least she's being honest about having a meltdown. But I don't really get it because Trump has been fuck it. It's hard to argue with that. A very eloquent, well thought out, concise and bollocks to it. Well, it's hard to argue with that. A very well thought out, eloquent, concise and mostly emotional argument from our new friend there, who thinks shouting fuck at each of 4 bollocks to it will fucking switch off.